Hello. Today, as you guys can tell from the title of the video, we are going to be installing a fuel regulator. And the fuel regulator we are installing is by DeatschWerks or DeatschWerks, or however you want to say their name. It's this guy right here. The specific part number is this one right here. Thank you guys for sending this out. They sent it out pretty quickly for me. I did pay the shipping for it and bought it, so it's not sponsored or anything like that, but I definitely been needing one. I was using an Evil Energy one. They're alright, but I've been having some drift on it and some air-fuel ratio issues ever since I've installed a AEM high-flow in-tank fuel pump, 340 LPH. We'll talk about that here in a second. Because of that, the stock OEM regulator wasn't enough, so I decided to try Evil Energy. It was holding up. I will give them some credit. A couple months, I think it was like 6 months, it held up, and then I had to put the OEM back on. So decided to upgrade and get kind of like a fancier one. It came with everything you're seeing on this guy. So the regulator, the gauge itself shows up. You get 3 barbed fittings. You get this one, and then there's 2 plugs. So you get this plug and then another plug, and then there's a plug in the front that you can actually unscrew and put the gauge in, and then that's how that works. So from that point, we're just going to be installing this guy in the engine bay. Before we actually do that, we have to depressurize the system in the car. So to do that, luckily in the 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer OZ Rally edition, the fuel pump is actually accessible in the back. You just pull the back seat out, take the sound dampening foam off, you take the plate off. Yours isn't going to look like this. I modified it for the AEM relay kit. If you guys were wondering, it's got a full-blown fuse relay kit for it, so it's not running on the stock wires. And the only thing it's running on is just to be told to turn on. So disconnect the fuel pump, and then we crank the car a couple times. The book still says there will be residual fuel in the fuel line, so just be prepared and get a towel if you're working on the car. So let's go ahead and crank the car a couple times, and I'll show you guys that. Alrighty, so neutral, clutch pedal down, and then we just crank her a couple times. It will die naturally, which is totally fine. Sorry about that. A little quick music blast. Might have to cut that out for you guys. But so we'll crank her now. So do that a couple times. I said about 3 to 4 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. Alright, so now we'll be in the engine bay where we will be removing the stock OEM regulator. Alrighty, so we're going to be over here on the passenger side of the engine, over by the timing belt area. It is this guy we are removing. So it'll be 2 10mm bolts and then a vacuum line. So you can just pull this guy off right now. I'm going to pull him off fully because I actually have a new vacuum line to actually put on there. And then you're going to need some pliers to pull off the return line because it goes into this like metal straw. You won't be able to see, kinda. It's right there. It's this little metal straw underneath the fuel rail. It comes out all the way over here. You can upgrade it if you guys want. It's this guy right here. This is the hard line return line, so it goes hard line back into like a regular fuel line. And then it goes back into a hard line again. I know that seems super redundant, especially when you like see that it goes back into a hard line. They could have just hardlined it all the way, or just done something else. I don't know. We won't talk about why they went down that route. So we're replacing this guy. And then we will be placing the fuel regulator right here. I gave us 2 mounting points on the back wall. As you guys can tell, I kind of just drilled through the firewall and then put 2 riv nuts in there. And then that just basically allows us to have 2 anchor points to choose from, depending on which one fits better with the piping and stuff. And then I have piping. We're going to be using a PTFE hose for the inlet for the fuel regulator, and then the return gets Bio E85 regulated gates, fuel hose that you can buy from like O'Reilly's and stuff like that. I'll make sure to link everything down below and kind of go over it as we go. So let's go ahead and get into this. Alrighty, so I've got some pliers. We're just gonna remove the return line. Oops, sorry about that. I wanted to focus on my my AC line there. So we'll remove this guy right here. There might be some fuel in it, so just be prepared for that. Just give it a little wiggle, pull it off the barbed fitting that's on it. Just enough to get it out of its way. It's a pretty long barb. Go ahead, pull this guy off. Yours might not be this stuck on here. I did upgrade the fuel line to the Gates fuel line, so there is some fuel in here. Just be careful with that. All right, so now we got this guy off. You can just leave him here for right now. Now we can actually work on taking this guy off, and it's these two bolts right here. So I'll get a wrench and we'll pull it right off. Just 2 10 mils. Pull this guy right off. They're not on there very tight, like very, very loose, like inch-pound tightness. Just finger loosen them now. Make sure you don't lose the crush washer on here. I'll show you guys. It's a very small bolt, so be very careful with it. Remove the other one. Boom, just like the other one, super short, be careful. I like to put them right here. Boink. All right. Now, there is gonna be fuel in here, so be prepared for that. So be very careful. And then it's got an O-ring on it, so you're gonna give it a little wiggle and pull it as you wiggle it. But as you are pulling it, make sure you are ready for it, because there's gonna be gas coming out, and I'm gonna try to capture this for you guys as best as I can. Without trying to drop the phone. Let's see, put you guys in a good spot. Boom, how'd it work? All right. Just put the towel there. As you can tell, it'll keep pouring. As you can tell, there's just residual fuel, especially in this guy too. So go ahead, just get it all out so you don't make a mess on the ground. I like to wrap it in a spare towel. If you guys got one, so just make sure you just wrap that guy in a spare towel. All right, so now we're gonna put a custom fitting on here. I got off of Amazon. I'll make sure to link it down below if you guys are following along. But it fits on a lot of cars like Subarus and stuff like that. So I'll show you guys that here in a second. Alrighty, this is it right here. It's 11 something by, it's got a specific size. I'll put it right here in the top corner. Again, I got this off Amazon. I didn't think it was actually gonna fit on my car, but surprisingly enough, if I put you guys back over here, and we witness this together, boink! It fits on there flawlessly. So, and we can use the stock hardware bolts for it. We don't need to get longer bolts or anything. So put these two guys in there. And then we just snug them down with the wrench. And it's not too tight. I will give you guys the torque specs, what the service manual says, again in the top corner, but it's nothing too crazy. It's in inch pounds, so don't go Hulk cranking these guys down, okay? Like, it's just now snug, and I like to give it a little extra turn. Boom, like that. Like a little extra, like a little, like, so snug, and then I like to go, All right. Perfect. Now, sorry guys for the background sound. My neighbors are getting a new driveway, so you gotta bear with that. Now we're gonna be mounting this guy, which will allow us to use the PTFE line. I might have made it a little too long, so we might have to trim it. We won't know until I actually install it. I can already tell I might actually have made it a little too long, because if I just mock fit it up on here, oh yeah. I made it a little too long. Maybe if I tried it this way, hold on. I made her a little too long. So we're gonna have to trim this bad boy down, which is totally fine. It's a learning curve. It's my first time ever actually making one of these. It took me 7 tries just to even get this one, so make that 8. So we're gonna try to figure out how to make a proper length on there. What I'll probably do with you guys first is we'll probably just put the regulator on there, and then we'll take a proper measurement like a smart person rather than just eyeballing it. Alrighty, so we got it mounted up in here. As I was showing you guys earlier, the 2 anchor points I had earlier, decided to use the furthest one. From that point, we are gonna have to make some custom lines for it, which is totally expected. The only one we actually don't have to make a custom line for is the return one, and I'll show you that here in a second. Luckily, sorry, with this one, it is just a barbed pushed-on fitting that we use the hose clamps for. So it's got the 90 to a male-to-male AN6 fitting to the barbed fitting, and I'll make sure to link all of these down below. Again, if you guys are following along. If you're just watching this for entertainment, then you get to watch me struggle. So we're gonna put this guy on the bottom, because that is where the return port is at. It's on the bottom of this guy. Boom, as you can kind of see it. So we'll pipe it through that, and then we'll see where it reaches. It's basically just kind of it has to go right there, right here. So we'll take this guy off, and then we'll see how much I need to either trim off or adjust on the fittings. So I'll show you guys that when I got it all on. I got it officially mounted in there, running, as you guys can tell. And I'm sorry, I lied. I used the other mounting one just because it was easier on the return line. It wasn't touching the intake manifold. There was actually a nice little gap with it being in that one. With it being in this guy, it was actually rubbing on the intake manifold, so we don't want that. So it's nice, routed up in there. Got the vacuum line on there. Got the inlet right here, as you guys can tell. Nice PTFE line. I got the vacuum and gauge set. It's a little high. I'll have to adjust that here in a second. Not that hard, just turn the car off, disconnect the vacuum line, and then you adjust it. Mitsubishi manual wants it to be between 45 to 49, almost 50, and then when you connect it, it should drop down like just about below the 40 mark. So I'm gonna adjust that a little bit, and then we should be good to go. Pretty good gauge. I like it. It's very responsive. and the car revs and stuff. I'll give you guys a little rev here. Very responsive, so that's good. So the only downfall is when I do turn off the car, it doesn't hold pressure like the service manual wants. I guess it's supposed to hold fuel pressure for 2 minutes. It does not, so we will be looking into that. But yeah, got the regulator on there. Replaced that stock one. I'll hold on to the stock one just in case, but I trust this company. They seem pretty solid. They were very helpful when I gave them a call asking how to install it and which ways up and down on the adjustment screw. So yeah, super nice company. Recommend them. 10/10. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more content as we're getting there. We're planning to turbo it. Next, we're going to get bigger injectors and a better ECU so we can actually tune the injectors to the car a little bit better rather than playing the guessing game with the stock ECU. It's a little bit harder. If you know, you know. If no one really understands, it's pretty complicated. A lot of tuners actually hate tuning these cars if you have the stock ECU. So if I slap a Helltech in there, it'll be a lot easier on me and for anyone who does tune the car. So thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Again, it was just the regulator we installed. I'll let you know if anything changes, but pretty straightforward. I'll include all the parts I have here, from all the fittings, the piping, to the regulator, and even the riv nuts that I use to mount it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Have a lovely day.